Hi everyone. So this week we're talking about supply and the law of supply. So what's the law of supply? The law of supply says that there is a direct relationship between price and quantity supplied. A simple example is when the price of orange juice increases, the supply of orange juice increases as well. If we look at the graph on the right here, we see that we have price on the y-axis and we have quantity on the x-axis. And then we have the supply curve right here. Always remember that the supply curve is the upsloping curve and the demand curve is the downsloping one. Now let's focus on supply here. Let's just imagine that we have a low price of orange juice. If we have a low price of orange juice somewhere right here, there's only a few people that are willing to supply that orange juice. But when the price of orange juice is high up here, we have more and more people that are willing to supply orange juice. So as the law says, the more the price is high, the more the quantity supplied is high, because when the price is high, more and more people are willing um, to supply the product, to supply orange juice in this case. Now, as we talked about last time, the demand and the different change in the demand curve, we're going also to talk about the changes that happen around the supply curve. So first, always remember that a change in price changes along the curve. All right, when there is a change in price, the curve doesn't move, like the curve is the same, but we just move from a point to another on the same curve. All right, so if we have, let's say, orange juice price at $1, so at $1 we have zero supplier, and then at $4 we have 360, maybe 360 supply, so 360 quantity supply, right? So that is what a change in price does. A change in price just moves along the supply curve. Now, there are different elements that are called the shifters, which are going to shift the supply curve either on the left side or on the right side. Now, let's see what are those shifters. We have 5 shifters. We have first the price of resources. If the price of oranges, which are the key resources to supply orange juice, increases, then the supply of orange juice decreases, right? If you have a certain budget as a producer, as a supplier, you have a certain budget to buy your resources, but now your resources are more expensive, which means that your budget is lowered, right? So you can only buy a smaller amount of your resources, so you can only produce a smaller amount of um, product and supply that product in only smaller amount. Um, and in that case, we are initially here, and the price of our resources increase, so we cannot produce the same quantity. We cannot produce or supply the same quantity. We're going to supply less, so we will move the supply curve to the left side. Sorry about that. And then we have the number of producer, which is another shifter. If there is an increase in the number of producers of orange juice, then the supply curve will move to the right, because there will be an increase in the quantity of orange juices supplied, right? So we'll move from here to here because we have an increase in the quantity supplied. The third element, the third shifter of the supply curve, is technology. Imagine that there is a new advanced machine that allows us to produce more orange juice. Then we'll produce more, we'll supply more. So we'll move once again from this point, from this initial supply curve to this curve right here on the right. And then we have, as a fourth shifter, we have government sorry, we have government involvement. So government involvement can be taxes. Well, if the government increases the taxes, the suppliers have less money to produce, to supply, so the supply will decrease, right? So the curve will, excuse me, the curve will move to the left side. And then we have subsidies. Subsidies is Subsidies are money that the government gives to producers in order to help them produce more. So in that case, since they're giving producers more money, producers are going to supply more. So the curve will move from the initial curve right here to the right. All right. And then lastly, we have expectations. Expectations are if as a supplier, I know that I will make more money by supplying my orange juices in a few weeks. What I would do right now is that I would hold back my supply, and I would supply orange juice later on, like in a couple of weeks when provide they're going to 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 make more. I'm going to make more profit out of it. So as of now, I'm going to hold it back, and that's how expectations also affect the supply curve. So always remember that one of those five shifters will always move the supply curve either on the left side or on the right side, according to if it increases or it decreases the quantity supplied. However, any change in price will um, we will just move along the same curve. Like there is no shifting of the curve, but we just move along the same curve. Now I hope that this little video was helpful. I'll see you in the next video.